Hello Onks friends. Today we're doing this video to show you how we recommend to oil your instrument. I've had a lot of people asking questions about that recently, and so I just want to show you the basics. It's very quick, very easy, very simple. Today's video is not to talk about the validity of oiling or not oiling. That is for another time and place. But for today, if you are interested in oiling and believe in that for your instrument, this is how we recommend doing it. So today I've got this Oboe here for a full cleaning. So right now the upper joint is disassembled, as you can see. And so the way we would oil this, first I would start off with the oil that I use. And by the way, you can go to our website, onksws.com, and search oiling or Oboe oiling procedure, and you will find our document on the website that tells you what kind of oil this is. It also does this whole procedure I'm about to show you. So onksws.com to check out Oboe oiling procedures. So I first take the oil and I put a few drops into the bore. Notice I'm holding with the tone holes facing up. You do not want to drop oil in the bore of your oboe with tone holes facing down, because the oil would go in your tone holes and we don't want that. So a couple drops into the bore, and then I use a turkey feather to oil instruments, to distribute the oil. And so at that point I would take the turkey feather and insert that into the bore, pressing it all the way through, and then just in and out a little bit. You can turn it. You just want to make sure that the oil is evenly distributed into the bore. And after you do that, you can look through the bore and you'll be able to see it, a nice sheen, so that you know you've done that properly. Then I will take the excess oil that's on the feather. I will never apply oil directly to the outside of the instrument. So using the residual oil on the feather, then very lightly wipe the feather onto the wood, and I'll just go all the way around the circumference of the instrument, and I would do that all the way up to the top of the instrument. And so I don't know if you can see in this video, but the oil, there's just a nice little sheen. There's not oil dripping off of the instrument. It doesn't take much, and so you just need a little sheen to do the job. Okay? Now most of you at home will not have your instrument completely disassembled. Being disassembled makes it quick and easy for us to do this. Most of you that want to do this, you will have your instrument completely assembled, like this oboe. Magic, voila, it's reassembled. So if you have your instrument assembled and you're doing this, you do it the same way. You would start by putting a couple drops into the bore and running the feather through the bore. And then to do the outside of the wood, here's where you have to be super careful, but you can definitely do this. So you'd very lightly just go in between the keys. You'll go up underneath a few different keys. And of course the exposed wood, that's very easy. You just rub the feather onto the wood. But where you want to be super careful, underneath this long stack rod of keys here, if you go under that, you want to be mindful of the springs. There are springs under here that make all these keys pop open or closed, depending on which key or spring it is. And you do not want to hit those springs, because it may disengage them, or worst case scenario, if you bent the spring really bad, the spring could bend. So when you're going under keys, you just want to be very gentle, very light, be mindful of that spring under there, and you should be able to, for the most part, reach most of the wood on the instrument with the keys on. So that's how we recommend doing that. We're not pouring oil directly onto the wood, but we're using the feather to distribute the oil. Very simple, very quick. You would also, after you do this with keys on, you would do the oiling at nighttime possibly, and then let the instrument set out overnight. And then in the morning before you put it away, I would also recommend grab a piece of cigarette paper, and you could kind of put the cigarette paper under each pad. And if there's any oily residue on the pads, that'll just help remove that from the pad. So just a little bit of cleanup. And if the oil is still sitting on the wood in the morning when you're done, you just want to get a paper towel and just clean up, wipe any excess off. Because if it's still sitting there in the morning when you're done, when you come back to check on it, then the instrument didn't need it, and so you just want to wipe any excess away. So that's how we recommend oiling. Very easy, very simple. You might want to do that a couple times a year. It just depends. Every instrument's different. If you believe in oiling, some instruments may need it more than a couple times a year. And so if y'all have any direct questions you want to ask me, we're happy to talk to you over the phone. You can call us in the shop. You can go to onksws.com to find our phone number. You can also send us an email from our website, onksws.com. We look forward to talking with you. If you have any questions, wherever this is posted, whether that's on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, you can definitely ask us questions there. So please reach out to us if you have questions about this. Many different ways to do this, but this is how we recommend. Just keep it simple. Maintaining the instruments, it's a great idea, and we're happy to help answer any questions that you guys may have. So thanks for tuning in. Look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.